don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, just and continue to create shots for your team. Good high percentage shots. Now it's just a matter of Michigan being able to convert those and making those baskets. Under John Beilein and even at times under Juwan Howard, we've seen Michigan go 5, 6, 7 minutes without being able to score any points, any field goals. They can get to the free throw line,
right,
but they've got to find a way to minimize any of those scoring droughts against a team like LSU that's going to run the floor, that's going to push the tempo of the game. They got to control the tempo, and they've got to hit those open jumpers.
And officiating is going to be interesting because like I said, both teams aren't extremely deep, especially LSU. If you get those guys in foul trouble, make them sit a little bit. Obviously, that helps Michigan. Although it's in Saturday in their game, Watford got in foul trouble early, but they kept him in. He kept going in and out a little bit in the first half, so he was still in there enough to actually make a difference. Now, this is a huge game for Juwan Howard. Look, if they lose, I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh my God, Juwan Howard, he can't coach the NCAA. He can't coach the postseason." He's 1-1 in the Big Ten tournament, and he would lose today and be 1-1 in the NCAA tournament. There have been great coaches who've struggled early in their NCAA career, and there have been others who've done well. But this is a signature game. It really is, because especially, and it's not fair to Michigan, the way the Big Ten has struggled a little bit. So he's under some pressure. The team's under some pressure to get into the at least the Sweet 16. When you're a number one seed, and granted you lose Livers, and granted you're playing a team with a lot of talent, you are supposed to get to the Sweet 16 in your wins.
Yes, and if they do, I believe I saw a stat when I was reading through some of the information that under John Beilein, his final 3 years, they made it to the Sweet 16. Obviously, no tournament last year. So if they make it to the Sweet 16 this year, it'll be the first time in program history they've gone 4 years in a row of getting to the Sweet 16.
Are you confident in Michigan? 248-539-9797. Is this a statement game for Juwan Howard? Look, it's important. It's the biggest game he's had to coach. But if they win, the next game might be a little bigger game for Juwan Howard. I just think it'd be really nice in year 2, although it's only year 1 of the tournament, if he can get this team to a Sweet 16. Because let's face it, the expectations changed. Nobody thought this was going to be a really top-notch team. Definitely not a 1 seed going into this tournament. But now, expectations because of the regular season and people they've changed.
And here's the thing I think we want to see from Juwan Howard. In the Big Ten tournament, right, he had, a day to prepare without, Isaiah Livers. Now he had a week to get ready for, Texas Southern. And there's a couple more, there's just obviously 1 day in between, but now he's had a chance, like you mentioned, to get Zach Jackson some time, to get some other guys some time. What type of game plan does he put together? What type of rotation does he have with the players that he has in and out of the game? What does he do if somebody gets into foul trouble? This is where we'll see his ability to coach and put a game plan together for a good team.
We want to see some wrinkles.
Yeah.
Maybe a different defensive, that's what Beilein would do, or maybe a press or something just out of the blue or something like that, I just think this LSU chatter is a little bit extreme right now. I mean, look, if they lose to a team that's in the middle of the conference, an 8 seed, this is a major disappointment. I don't care about the injury. You should be able to get beyond this injury to get to the Sweet 16.
They should, but they are playing a pretty damn good team. Now, are they great? No, but they definitely have 2 NBA players.
I mean, I thought yesterday what Baylor did was kind of like the regular season narrative was Gonzaga and Baylor, and Michigan entered the picture. And then because of late season games that happened in the last 2 weeks, a lot of things changed in storylines. But that water can still find its level today. I'm really intrigued by the Gonzaga-Oklahoma game because Oklahoma's got a good tournament coach. And I expect Gonzaga to flex their muscle like Baylor did yesterday. I kind of expect Michigan to flex theirs a little bit today, too.
Well, I think they can, and I think they should. And I think part of the narrative that we're talking about right now, yes, LSU is a good team. They play something different than Michigan sees in the regular season because they're speed, they're fast. But they don't match up with Hunter Dickinson. Michigan needs to use everything they have to their advantage. They've got Franz Wagner. They've got Eli Brooks. They've got Hunter Dickinson. They've got a number of players that they can lean on to make this happen. But we're also in a tournament where it's been so unpredictable that I think that's feeding into, are we going to watch Michigan be the next number 1 seed to lose to an 8? Or are they going to, the
That's
Big Ten?
us, though. This is a team that's in a locker room that shouldn't be listening or letting any of that noise affect them. What's happening in the rest of the tournament has no effect on Michigan unless they let there be an effect.
But these players, and here's the difference, is these players are locked in a hotel room. They are on their floor. They are watching the TV. They're looking at their phones. They're doing all this stuff. When in a normal year, yes, they could block out a lot of what's going on, but right now they're pretty much forced to face, there's been all of these upsets, and how mentally tough is this team? How mentally tough is Juwan Howard, Phil Martelli? How can they get their players to ignore what has happened and say, hey, we're Michigan, we should win, and here's how we're going to go out and do it?
Part of the reason is because of what's happened in the Big Ten, and we'll talk about the failures of the Big Ten coming up next. 97 won the ticket.
All right, right now I want to talk about your hair. How's your hair looking these days? Are you noticing maybe your hair is thinning or that bald spot is appearing and it's getting a little bit larger? Well, I've got some great news for anyone who's been feeling self-conscious about their hair loss. Michigan's #1 hair restoration specialist, Dr. Berkowitz from Michigan Hair Restoration, has this amazing limited time offer specifically for 97.1 The Ticket listeners. So for a limited time, when you mention 97.1, you'll receive $1,000 off retail price plus 0% financing on your hair restoration procedure. And this is so cool because Dr. B, he is amazing. He has over 25 years of experience, and he can help you look younger and feel more confident with the most advanced hair restoration techniques available. And you got to remember that there's not actually a cookie cutter procedure. So what works for one person may not work for you, but Dr. B is going to work with you to make sure that you are happy and confident with the outcomes that you receive. If you want to take a look at Dr. B's one-of-a-kind NeoGraft transplant, or maybe you just want to get to know a little bit more about hair loss and restoration in general, you can go and download his book. It's called No Hair. That's KNOW Hair. You can download that anytime at MichiganHairRestoration.com. And remember, you deserve to feel confident, to look younger, and feel better about yourself. So go to MichiganHairRestoration.com today and schedule your appointment. And remember to take advantage of Dr. B's limited time offer.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJE at 950 Traffic Center. No reports of accidents this morning. The traffic is starting to build through the 75 work zone heading southbound near 12 Mile. Also in Troy, Big Beaver under I-75 remains closed as part of construction until later today. The 75 Big Beaver ramps are closed as well, and traffic will have to follow the posted detours. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The Detroit Pistons play the Indiana Pacers. Pre-game Wednesday night at 6:35 on 97.1 The Ticket. This Radio.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Lalonde, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram.
This is Boomer Esiason with a Radio.com Sports Minute, sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. So, how's your bracket doing these days, folks? The first round that was played this year on Friday and Saturday cut the field up 64 down to 32. Assorted bracket busters, come on, who had Oral Roberts in the Sweet 16, and failed long shots like Phil Sims's Morehead State, further whittled my 32 first-round picks down to 16. Then, day one of the second round, that would be yesterday, ticketed the first 8 teams to the Sweet 16. Oh, I had 3 of those 8 Baylor, Houston, and Loyola Chicago. And speaking of Sister Jean's Ramblers, I did correctly pick them to knock off number 1 Illinois. I also accurately predicted that the Fighting Illini would be the first top seed to fall. Bottom line, as of this moment, if you care, all of my Final Four teams, Gonzaga, USC, Baylor, and Houston, are still alive, as are my beloved Terrapins, the University of Maryland. I'm Boomer Esiason.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Of course, we have everything you need to take on that oil change. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic Motor Oil and an STP Extended Life Oil Filter for just $32.99. Plus, AutoZone Rewards members get a $5 bonus reward. Not a member? Don't worry. Joining is easy, and you can even earn an extra $5 bonus reward to sign up. Getting your job done just got easy.
especially if children are involved. If you're a father and want to protect your role in your children's lives, remember Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men with matters like these for 30 years, and we'd love to help you.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
Bring home the RV of your dreams during the Trade Anything event at General RV. If it's got a motor or wheels, we can make a deal. We'll even give you $500 for your tent. Take advantage of record trade-in values for your used RV while you can. Plus, get up to $10,000 in exclusive manufacturer rebates with or without a trade. It's your chance to save thousands on the motorhome, travel trailer, or fifth wheel of your dreams. Trade anything for a limited time only at General RV in Wixom, Clarkston, Brownstown, and Mount Clemens. When you place a wager with William Hill Sportsbook, every sports moment is even more interesting. And we have a special 2021 offer to help you bet on all your favorite sports risk-free. Download the William Hill Sportsbook app, and when you sign up, you can get started with a risk-free bet of up to $2,021. Use promo code RadioRF. Must be 21 years or older and present in Michigan to bet. Paid and free bets. New users only. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 1-800-270-7117. Let's make it interesting with William Hill Sportsbook.
One person dies from heart disease every 36 seconds in the United States. Don't be one of them. At the Detroit Medical Center, our online heart risk assessment tells you if heart disease may be in your future. And it only takes a little more than 36 seconds to complete. Take control of your heart health by taking our health assessment at dmc.org/myheart. Trust your heart to the experts at the DMC, a community built on care.
Attention, Michigan. Do you really want a new car? But your credit's not so good. But you still owe money on your dream. But you still can't afford a large down payment. It's time to bring your butts to Alante Land Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram today. Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Radio.com Sports and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. You could win the ticket signing bonus. $1,000 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. BetQL's proven data and analytics help you become a better bettor. Download the BetQL app today. Listen for the keyword at 1/2 each hour between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data rates apply, and you could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
All right, last night, Bulls over the Pistons, 100-86. By the way, I do want to mention Michigan's women's team over Florida Gulf Coast, 87-66 in the first round of the NCAA's. Iowa beat Central Michigan, and the Spartans, ladies Spartans, take on Iowa State. 6 o'clock. We have some tickets. Surprised at some of these. Stoney, if they play smart, you think Michigan will win, you said. Really, I was thinking they should go in dumb and see how it plays out. Well, obviously, what I mean by playing smart, I don't think I have to go point by point, is not settle for, bad shots, not make stupid fouls. You watch some of these other Big Ten teams play really dumb and play not to lose. We'll get to that in a second. That's what you're referring to. There's a way to play smart and there's a way not to play smart. And look, I don't think Juwan sits there and says, oh, we're play smart. Of course, you got to play smart, don't we? Hey guys, who does Will Wade have his meetings?
That's great.
I can't wait now that Oklahoma State lost last night. Now they'll hear their appeal. Now the kid kind of gives out of the tournament. Little Birdie told me the Livers will be back if they make it to the Sweet 16, which makes a deep run a little bit more promising than pretty nice. Going back the one step between first. Note to Stoney, it's the NCAA tournament. You're going to be playing good teams. Colorado or Florida State without Livers is going to be a tough game. Yeah, it will be. They're all going to. The previous text was right. They're all tough from this point in, obviously. Especially when you're a 1 seed. The 16 is pretty much a gimme. Except for once.
Yeah.
Other than that, they're all going to be good teams. Now, Mike says my expectations haven't changed. I think it's a sporty mentality to pump up the opponent just in case we lose. Who the hell is LSU? I'm expecting to win. If we lose, I'll be miserable. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah.
Look, Michigan, you should expect to win.
And most people do expect them to win. And I think there is this, and I mentioned it last time, the last segment, there have been so many upsets. There have been so many unknowns in this tournament that we're going into this as fans cautious that we want Michigan to play well. I got to believe those in that locker room, Juwan Howard, Phil Martelli, that whole coaching staff, they're going into it believing that, hey, LSU doesn't belong on the same floor as we do. We've got to go out there and prove that.
Well, and Gov mentioned, that they can't let what's going around them affect them, and he's right. But I think that does, affect our feelings of this game when you see what's happened to the conference. Then you sit there saying, all right, they don't have lovers. Maybe because if the Big Ten maybe the Big Ten was overrated. Maybe they're not that good because they didn't beat anybody great. Maybe that's the feeling. I mean, look, they lost to Illinois, and we saw how bad they were yesterday. Even though I know they're a really good team, I don't buy into all that stuff. I don't think one game and out or two and out is enough to define a conference. But are you going to tell me the Pac-12 is better than the Big Ten because of what they've shown so far? I don't think so.
Well, the big thing with the Big Ten is the Ohio State and Illinois losses. Those are the ones that are just like, whoa.
Yeah.
They, in some ways, have been two-man teams at times. And I think in both situations, the role players are what cost them the game.
Well, especially Ohio State didn't have their great role player. Young didn't play.
Yeah, and Io passed the first half yesterday, man. Yeah, it's one and done. There ain't no...
I know.
Dancing around anything, and especially against a well-coached team like that. I mean, it just...